Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my pie videos. Quick note before we start, my 5th recipe book is out now and available on the website. I'll share more about it later, but for now let's get on with today's recipe. And in this extra special pie recipe, I'm showing you how to make our outstanding and hugely popular Chicken Tikka Curry Pies. And this time I'm switching things up a bit with short crust pastry. But if you prefer the hot water crust pastry, you can use a version from any of my other 5-inch individual pie recipes that's already on the channel. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. And the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Okay, let's get on with today's recipe. On to making the pastry. By far the best way to make short crust pastry is to use a food processor. It's very quick and easy, but more importantly, it keeps all the ingredients cold, which is essential when making short crust pastry. If you don't have a processor, you can mix the ingredients by hand, but do this as quickly as possible. First, add the flour. Now you can add the salt. Next to go in is the fats. In this case I'm using butter and lard. If you don't use or like lard, as it is a pork product, you can use a solid vegetable fat instead. Or you could use all butter. Okay, pulse the machine for about 40 seconds. And if you are making this by hand, rub the ingredients together with your fingers. Keep going until you have a fine breadcrumb or sandy consistency. Like I said, about 40-45 seconds in the machine, and this will take a little longer if you're making it by hand. And once again, if you want to use my hot water crust pastry method, you can use any of my other individual pie recipes for that. Now set the machine away and slowly trickle in the cold water. And if you are doing it by hand, just cut it together with a dinner knife. Once the pastry comes together and starts rolling around the bowl, it's done. Now very carefully get it out of the machine and watch your fingers on those blades. All you have to do now is to divide the pastry into smaller pieces and flatten them out. This is so they can chill out quicker, and also that'll make them easier to roll out. Now get them wrapped in cling film, and I use biodegradable, and into the fridge for at least 30 minutes before using them. On to making this outstanding chicken tikka curry filling. For this recipe you'll need a couple of chicken breast fillets, and you'll need to dice them pretty small as shown. You'll also need a medium-sized ordinary white onion diced small too. If you want to make up your own tikka curry powder mix, my personal recipe is made up of these spices. Or you can simply buy the mix already made up and add a couple of tablespoons of that. But my homemade powder works out a lot cheaper and, in my humble opinion, much tastier. Right, over to the stove. In a medium-sized saucepan, heat up the oil. Once hot, add your onions and fry until soft. This should take about 4 to 5 minutes. Once your onions are soft, you can add the chicken to the pan. Stir fry that for a couple of minutes until it firms up and starts to turn white. Now you can add your beautiful aromatic spices and thoroughly mix them in. Keep stirring until the chicken and the onions are completely coated in the spices. Just continue cooking and stirring for a few minutes. Next ingredient to go in is the chicken stock. If you don't have any natural chicken stock, and most people won't, just use a chicken stock cube. That's all I'm using. Now bring that to a simmer. Time to add the cream, and it's that makes this filling so special. For a healthier, less fat option, you can always add creme fraiche or plain Greek yogurt if you like. Bring that back to a simmer and add your thickening agent, in my case corn flour, also known as cornstarch. You can also use potato starch or arrowroot powder as a thickening agent too. Get that mixed in, it should thicken immediately. The final ingredient is optional, and it's a handful of chopped fresh coriander. And if you don't like coriander, try some flat leaf parsley instead. And that is it guys, your gorgeous chicken tikka curry pie filling is done. A quick taste for seasoning, and this is fine, doesn't need any. And don't forget the salt in the pastry too. Now get the lid on the pan and allow it to completely cool. I like to make mine the day before and refrigerate it overnight. Okay, on to rolling out the pastry. Get one of the 4 pieces out of the fridge, and if it's been in the fridge more than 30 minutes, manipulate it a little. The heat from your hands will make it a bit more pliable and easier to roll. Dust your bench with a little flour. Now dust the top of the pastry too. For rolling the pastry out, I'll be using our very own adjustable stainless steel rolling pin, and these are available on the website. And for this recipe, I'll be using the 3mm or 1/8 pastry spacer. Start rolling out your pastry. Just keep rolling as shown in the video until the guides hit the bench. You really can't go wrong with these rolling pins. There should be enough pastry in each of the 4 pieces to do 1 base and 1 lid for the pie tins that we're using. For these pies I'll be using our 12.5cm or 5-inch individual pie tins. To cut the bases out for our pie tins, this is the size cutter that you'll need, about 17cm or 7 inches, and we do have these cutters on the website too. Gather the pastry up again and roll out the pastry for the lid of the pie. And this is the cutter size you'll need for the lids, approximately 14cm, around 6 inches. And there you go, that's the base and the lid out of one of the 4 pieces of pastry. And a few minutes later is all 4 of each done. Okay, if you're interested, we have a fantastic pie making bundle deal on the website for everything you need to make these pies. They include 4 pie tins, the adjustable stainless steel rolling pin, and a complete set of these extra large 19-piece stainless steel pastry cutters. And like I say, we have a fantastic deal on this bundle. Just check out the pie making bundle link in the description box under the video. Time to put these beautiful pies together. First job is to make the egg wash. Crack a large egg into a container, add a dash of milk and whisk vigorously until it runs off the whisk as a loose liquid. Start by greasing your pie tins with a little butter. Before going any further, preheat your oven to 160 Celsius, that's 320 Fahrenheit or gas mark 3. As I normally do with my pie recipes, I'll fully assemble one pie from start to finish and do the other 3 off camera. Start by adding a base pastry to the greased pie tin. Gently work the pastry down into the tin. And for those girls and guys with long fashionable nails, take a spare piece of pastry and push it right down into the corners of the tin where the side meets the base. It's important to get it right down into that corner. Flatten the excess pastry onto the lip of the tin. Grab a fork and prick a few holes into the base as shown. This is called docking the pastry. It just helps stop the pastry base from bubbling up in the oven. Time to fill the cases with that wonderful chicken tikka filling. And here's the filling after it's completely cooled. As you can see, it thickens even more when it's cold. Right, onto the good bit. Spoon the filling into the base. And as this filling does expand some when baking, it needs to be level or even just below the top of the case. Give it a few taps on the bench to fill in any air pockets. Once your filling's in, get your egg wash and brush it all around the lip of the pastry. Try not to get any wash between the pastry and the tin, as this will stick like glue in the oven. And for belt and braces, brush a little around the edge of the pastry lid. Now line up the lid and gently press it down all around the lip of the tin. Using your fingers and thumbs, crimp all around the edge of the pie. This just takes a little practice, you sharp get the hang of this. Right, using the back of a knife blade, cut away the excess pastry. Cut a couple of vent holes in the centre of the pie. Once that's done, crimp all around the edge of the pie again. This tidies up the pie, but more importantly ensures a good seal when baking. Now brush egg wash all over the lid of the pie. Once again, being careful not to get any between the pastry and the tin. And there you go. One beautiful looking pie all done and ready to bake. And here's all 4 completed and ready to go into the oven. FYI, you can freeze at this stage for future use. Simply defrost in your fridge for 24 hours and then bake as normal. Right, into the oven and set your timer for 50 minutes. And while those gorgeous pies are baking, I hope you don't mind if I give my 5th recipe book a quick shout out. This latest release features 12 all new bread recipes not found in any of my previous 4 books, along with even more recipes for air fryers, pies, cakes and desserts. The book also includes interactive elements such as QR codes linking directly to step-by-step video tutorials for each recipe. I think you're going to love it. We're starting with a limited supply, so get your orders in early, guys. Right, time's up on these beautiful pies. And they're looking amazing. A wonderful rich golden brown colour. And the aroma of that tikka curry is out of this world. It really is mouth-watering. They're way too hot to do anything with at the moment, so I let them cool in the tins for a while, and when I come back, we'll give them a try. Okay, they're still quite hot, but I can't wait any longer. The aroma's been driving me nuts. And just look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to get stuck straight in. The beauty about making your own tikka filling is that you control the spicy heat of the curry. I'm not a fan of very hot curries. This is just a medium version, and they really are incredibly delicious. And so simple to make. Do yourself and your family a massive favour and give this one a try. Huge thumbs up for this one, guys. And as mentioned earlier in the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Jens K3250, Lavinia Rawlinson and Foreign. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.